couldn't wait
I'm
until
gonna
I got to the hotel room.
go live right now so everyone can hear that I hijacked your channel.
We're already live?
Yes. I know, but now
So
people can hear me.
You weren't live before?
I could have swore we were live before.
We were live, but that was just the intro screen. Now we are live with the show.
Yeah.
And we have no frame drops because I fixed the program.
Oh, now you have no frame drops. So is someone besides me going to do the introduction?
No.
I'm pretty sure we've done a shit-ass introduction already.
Yes.
But sure?
Hello, everybody. My name is Antoine, and I am the leader of the Proper Villains. This is totally my channel.
I have never said that in my life.
Hello.
Greetings,
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Proper Villains. My name, of course, is Antoine.
Hello, Governor. My name's Antoine. I like soup. I have a monkey as a child. I'm driving across country. Hello, hello. And on my right, I have Zell.
Are you really? You don't even know how I introduce all of you, and you're trying to steal it.
And as always, as the right hand of the devil, I have Brockus.
I don't...
What?
What? Did we fuse and I'm unaware?
Fusion! Ha!
I don't know how I feel about that.
So, since you screwed up the introduction...
Greetings, everyone. My name, of course, is Antoine, and welcome to Proper Villains Live. With me, as always, the right hand of the demon, the illustrious, the lascivious, Lo-Fi.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Wow.
Wow, her voice changed really fast.
My God, that was.
You know the soundboard.
I said that. That was me. All
I took
along.
myself off of... Okay. I did not mute myself. That is my bad.
No, that was fucking funny. I like that. That was awesome. This is our greatest show yet.
Well, if you want, I can give you an update of where I am.
Yes. Antoine, where are you?
I am about 10 miles from the Oregon border.
Are you on the Oregon Trail?
No, that was from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Watch out for dysentery.
Yeah. Remember when you crossed the river to do a flip? I don't remember.
Not in a covered wagon.
You're in a Winnebago, though.
I am not in a Winnebago. There is no Winnebago.
You heard it here, folks. Gwen, live from the Winnebago.
The Winnebago has decent audio. I'm surprised. I'm glad.
Because it's not a Winnebago.
He is a shit driver in the Winnebago, too.
Oh my god.
It's not helping when Gwen's on the other end basically saying it's a Winnebago.
Okay.
I'm sorry, there's a trailer that weighs more than the car we're in.
I am not there. Oh, yeah, okay. No, never mind. Talking about me.
Yeah, what?
I sometimes get called a trailer. I don't want to explain why.
I think...
I've never called you a trailer. Stop trying to make it think.
Are you a trailer?
No, the term he's looking for is traitor, not trailer.
Oh, you're just mad because we hijacked your stream and didn't say shit to you.
I did...
No, that's nothing to do with it.
I did say
You're
I
a
would
traitor.
do it last week.
You know what you are.
Alright.
Where's Zell?
He's off.
here.
I don't know.
No, I'm right here.
Yeah, that's Zell.
Yeah.
Can't you hear him?
Zell cut his penis off. Yeah.
Yeah, Zell has...
Apparently, Zell
I'm a
grew some
manly-
balls, lost his dangly bits, and got an effeminate voice. So.
Yeah,
I'm a manlier version of Zell. Obviously, I'm not deepening my voice.
How are you? See,
After his fight with Jeff Holiday, he figured, all right, that's the manliest thing he can achieve. So he snipped his balls off and was just like, now I'm gonna.
I have to give it though, pooping right on Jeff Holiday's face like that and see him hang dodge and squirm. That was fucking
Wait,
funny.
you got into a fight with Jeff Holiday?
Yes.
Kinda.
What happened?
Well, last night with Love Your Monday, I had planned on bringing Jeff Holiday on. When Zell found out, he was really super excited to get on, and eventually did get on because Schmeckel sent him the link. And when it was calm, I guess, right around the 1 hour mark,
Yeah.
Zell started asking Jeff questions, and the two of them got into it for about a half hour until we eventually shifted to just nerd talk.
Okay. What were the questions?
It's,
It's mostly about the apology video.
it's on Cognitive Thought's channel, the best part of it. Cognitive Thought made a 3-minute video about how Jeff is a liar.
Yeah, he clipped it down to about 3.5 minutes, something like that.
I need to give Zell a raise.
Yeah.
Don't pay the fucker.
Don't know that I don't pay them.
Oh, we are well aware of that, sir. We are all well aware of that.
Oh
I
yeah.
wasn't talking
Oh
to
yeah.
you, I was talking to the chat.
Oh, I run your Streamlabs as well. Oh no.
Alright, I'll shut up.
Can I hijack your donations?
Wait, I'm gonna get paid for this?
Yes,
Sweet.
you are tonight.
So I get Zell's payment, right? That means you're my waifu now, Lo-Fi.
Oh my god. Dream comes true.
Yes!
Incidentally, unfortunately, that did cause Jeff to pretty much let me know that he's never coming on the show again.
Oh well.
Wait. So, because he actually got proven to be a bitch, he's not coming on the show
Yeah,
again.
because in Jeff's eyes, he's not a bitch, even though he was being a bitch. Oh, but no one was being quite the bitch as Agalog. Jesus Christ, what a bitch.
I'm not gonna go that far necessarily. It's just yeah. After that, he pretty much decided he's not gonna. I think it's the cunt stream in general, not just Love Your Monday. I think he's going to pretty much deny any and all invitations to the cunt stream
Oh, yeah.
from this point forward.
You can understand why, right? You get Sun to talk about pseudoscience and then get
That was the whole reason I
Jumped
invited
on!
him to begin with, but
because
alright.
Smegel decided to send a link to Zell.
Well, I was still debating whether or not I should actually send a link to Zell, because I was like very unsure, because like the way he was talking in chat made it seem like he wasn't gonna do that, and then he did it anyways after he had gotten the link. So I was just like, all right, fuck it, might as well get a Gluck on here. I don't care.
Alright, no. Oh, so you did send a link to a Gluck.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna take full responsibility, actually. Because pretty much when I started getting bored, and the pseudoscience discussion kept getting more or less derailed in some way, shape, or form, and it was hard to keep up with it because it's just like I don't know what questions to ask about pseudoscience, so I was just asking some stupid shit. Nobody else seemed to have any other real questions to ask about pseudoscience. Like, we got through that general topic pretty fast before we all started derailing, which is fine. I don't mind that, but as soon as I started getting bored, I actually hit up, and Brockus, you can confirm this. I hit up both Brockus and Schmeckel and said, send the link out to Zell and a Gluck. I made the mistake of saying send it out to a Gluck because
So why
I thought he was gonna be able to balance Zell's Zellness.
Oh, so they just both went after it.
No.
A Gluck was useless.
Isn't he always useless?
I don't know.
He never-
I've interacted with the guy twice in a stream. That's it.
Yeah, he seemed fine, but he just decided to kiss some ass instead. And then do nothing, just sit there and look at the screen with his stupid cam on. What a dumb cam.
It was a thing, and pretty much I was actually really I saw Zell had gotten in, and I was like, oh, did the I was like, oh, Brockus sent the link to Zell, but he didn't send it to a Gluck yet. Or I'm sorry, AG Luck, because he's so sensitive about that.
Just
But,
call him Lucky. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he's a
But-
Glock.
But anyway, I noticed he wasn't in yet, so I went and took the initiative to send it to him because he was saying earlier that he's a big fan of Jeff, and I'm like, oh, so you might have some understanding and be able to have some counterpoints to Zell, who used to be a big fan of Jeff but isn't any longer because of whatever the fuck happened. I don't fucking know. You know, I'm the residential normie. I'm fucking Sweden in this bullshit. Like, I just kind of sitting there and eating popcorn and being like, okay, what's going on, guys?
Do you mean Switzerland?
Wow, Sweden, Switzerland, Denmark, Germany, I don't know, some European fucking bullshit.
Fair enough.
Norway. I'm Norway in this situation.
No!
I don't know.
You're rich
No,
on
no,
Ireland, you're a cunt.
That-
Oh, fuck
That's
it.
fair.
Bit my
I
fit.
was actually going to send the link over to Zell, but as soon as I had sent it to a Gluck, I had noticed Zell was already in the chat, so I was just like, oh, fuck it. All right, whatever. Somebody
Oh,
beat
I
me
just
to it.
figured you weren't paying attention to Twitter.
I was just waiting for a more appropriate time. I was kind of waiting for the hour mark, because I figured, okay, so the first hour we can do like the stream that I was planning on doing and shit, and then, you know, with a Gluck and Zell basically like, you know, licking their chops to try to get on the stream. I was just like, yeah, no. After an hour, I'll send the link and then
Okay,
boom.
real quick. I just passed the Oregon border.
Okay.
The first building that I ran into is We Sell Weed.
Yay! You should stop.
That's hilarious.
That's a good thing.
If
That can...
I'm muted, it's because the little one is throwing a fit. She doesn't want to be in her car seat anymore.
No, don't. Then stop for weed. That'll calm her right down.
I'm not gonna give her weed.
No, you don't give a child weed. She can't smoke that shit. That I wouldn't suggest that. She'd be coughing for hours. Give her an edible.
Yeah, give her a gummy
I'm
bear.
not gonna give her an edible either.
It's a
They got
gummy
chocolate
bear.
chip.
Kids love
They
gummy
no,
bears.
they got chocolate chip edibles. You'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, just don't give her the whole thing.
There's no issue. Children fucking love edibles.
What, does she have a drug test she needs to pass?
It's cold. She's 5.
So, I know some 5-year-olds that I would totally give some like fucking weed cookies to, just to calm their asses down.
Yeah. What is it
You
called?
don't need.
Let's see.
It's
Ah,
called parenting.
uh,
He's being a good dad, responsible and shit. Whatever.
brandy we give them in Denmark to calm kids down. So why not we?
Is anyone paying attention to the chat?
No!
Mm-hmm. Gnostic says, welcome to Oregon. Grim Razor says, you on the Oregon Trail. Did you buy enough axles?
See?
Always
Grim
forward the
Razor
river.
thinks you're on the fucking Oregon Trail as well. It's not just
Malevolent
Razor
Raiders.
thinks
That's
English is
awesome.
a country.
Also,
Gnostic says he lives 5 miles from the Oregon Trail, so he's constantly in a state of dysentery.
hey Moxley. Also, Grim said something self-entertaining, but you gotta decide if that entertainment is worth him chasing off guests with questions that trigger them or not. You'll run out of guests sooner or later.
Yeah.
No,
And
I don't see an issue with having him.
what's the part of the chat that you're talking about?
And a $3 donation from Klaus and Lord of Virulence. Speaking of Zell, where is that nigger?
That is
He
excellent
is handling some niggotry.
it's the moon crickets, isn't it?
It's Tuesday. It is Moon Cricket Hunting Tuesday.
Why is
Getting
everyone
it all
yelling
wrong.
so
It's
loud?
nigger cutting Tuesday. There's a difference.
We can just increase the volume. Thanks for telling.
Yes.
We increase the volume.
Asfera. Asfera. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Oh, they can hear me
Thank
fine.
you
It's
for
only
that.
you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Sorry, not sorry.
Good. Okay, so just chat. This is still a new program, so I just made it run. Now we just need to make sure all the audio levels are correct. Still low.
But yeah, so that's what happened on Love Your Mondays last night. Was pretty much was the first half hour of, or first hour was more or less pseudoscience.
Mhm.
And then I started getting bored, and I told people send out links, and a Gluck was useless to me because I thought that he would have some form of information that could help. And Unknown Archive actually wound up piping up. He's the one who runs the dump. If you all don't know, I'm only aware of this because I've been invited to go and watch this, and AP told me to. So yeah, but he actually talked about how he researched the thing, like the issue, whatever.
Yeah.
So he got on, and he actually did kind of come in with some good information and a better light.
Yeah, he could say things. He weren't just being a little fucking nigger, as Zell would put it.
So if we sent out, as the villains, sent out an invitation to Jeff Holiday because Zell was on there, he wouldn't come on.
How?
More than likely not.
Probably not.
Are you fucking?
I mean, I don't know. If you sent it, or if you or Lo-Fi sent it, there might be the possibility he might come on.
If he, I think he might look at episodes and see no.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it probably.
But it's one of those.
Fuck him.
Yeah, but it's still one of those things where it's just like you don't know what's gonna happen, and he, if he doesn't want to come back onto Cunstream, that's fine. Like, I guess it sucks that, that's one less avenue he can explore in discussions of actual stuff. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who are not going to get over their salt. They're not going to get over all this stuff that they have. And it's something he's going to have to keep facing. I know he was tired of it. I know he's been tired of it. I could see it in his face when Zell came on and started bringing it up last night. But it's one of those things he's just going to have to keep dealing with because
he did the thing. He needs to accept that he did the thing.
The only negative that I'm aware of that he did was he made a questionable tweet, which he then took down.
It's not entirely the whole thing, but
no, that's the main thing that I know he did. He actually actively did. Being aware of something and having information about something does not mean you did the something.
No, but it's more that he lied live to everyone.
So
and then didn't give the apology on his main channel. He hid it away on a lesser known secondary channel.
And then
it was not lesser known. No. So here's rundown. The short version is Jeff got involved with a really stupid thing. A very questionable server on Discord. It was being run by Crown T, and yeah, it's called the doxing server because there was a lot of dox information on there. Whether that information was actually public information or not, it was the fact that they were collecting information on people, friends, enemies. It didn't matter, and it actually looked really, really fucking bad on most people's.
Be jealous. Names. Gas up here is $3.09 a gallon.
Shut up. Anyways, the story only gets a little more diluted there because when information started getting leaked about the server, Jeff was trying to do some crowd control, and he would continuously go on one stream after another in a 2-day time period, basically reassuring everybody that nothing is wrong, everything is fine, which only led to the truth coming out, and no, not everything was fine. So he lied to 3 different big channel audiences: Cuntstream, Kumite, and Warski Live. Eventually, this caused a lot of backlash for Jeff for the next 48 hours, which eventually caused...
What are we talking about? What's going on?
I'm giving a rundown.
Zell, there
hey,
you are.
Everybody, how we doing?
Oh, it's my favorite.
I saw the title, and I don't remember specifically pooping on the Jeff.
You did. Don't act like you didn't.
I watched it.
But yeah, I'd say more piss was involved. Took the piss out of him.
Oh, you
We
made
can,
him
we
die.
can call it anything we want now.
You flung poo at him and he died. Like
Dude,
there was no tomorrow.
cognitive thoughts is streaming about it right now.
Okay.
Fair enough. So yeah, basically this caused a lot of hot water for Jeff for the next.
And I know
48 hours
Brockus
after.
is upset about it.
I'm actually upset, but not for the reasons you think.
Oh, poor Brocky.
No, I'll explain. Once I get to the rundown and all that shit.
Sorry. Hi, everybody. How you doing? So anyway, continue.
So Jeff does this hour-long video where essentially doing it in the live stream, but it's not actually a live stream. And about, I would say, 50 minutes of that entire video is him basically talking to the audience in a very depressed sort of way, and then 10 minutes of him apologizing. Now, people like myself, Poisoning the Well, and Magog, we just simply accepted it, left it at that, whatever. The others like Schmeckel, Zell, and pretty much everybody else that ended up turning on Jeff did not accept the apology whatsoever, and it caused drama for the next several months for him. A couple of months ago, Jeff decided to say something really, really dumb because the optics were just horribly bad, and it was taken out of context, in context, however you want to do it, and that is the tweet incident that, of course, Cog had archived himself and taken screenshots of and so on and so forth. Now we come to today, where this morning I see a thread of tweets back and forth between Jeff and Alenska, who just so happened to apparently be Cognitive Thought's very own fiance. And Jeff decided to bring Alenska into the fray by pretty much mentioning her, not by name, but at least mentioning her, and that Cog is scamming her or some shit. I'm not 100% certain. She got pissed and decided to say, keep my relationship with my fiance out of your mouth. You know, the thing that Jeff has been pretty much pissed off that people have been doing with him and Mems for the last 5 months. That he's been mad about other people doing. He decided to kind of do himself. Granted, yeah, everything that's happened to Mems, that was actually horrible. I'm not saying it wasn't. What Jeff just did, not quite as bad as some of the fucking things that have been said about him and his family. But fucking Christ, Jeff. The fact is you did the thing that you were telling people not to do with you and your family. You brought in somebody else's family.
Being a hypocrite.
And then this is the worst part. He continues in that thread.
Clausen's funny.
He continues in that thread by basically saying, well, it's not even that big of a deal, blah, blah, blah. I apologize, fake apology. And it's just like, fucking Christ, Jeff. This is the kind of shit that actually
That was
gets
one of
your
the things
audience
I was
pissed
ripping
off
on him
at you.
for. That's one of the points that I was trying to make when we were going back and forth and stuff like that, is like, you'll ask him a straightforward question about like, hey, you know, deception here. What's up with that? And then he will go on a diatribe about like, oh, don't you know that they brought up my kid? And didn't you know that poor Kraut? Did you know poor Kraut is a German and he was being called a Nazi? Can you imagine what that feels like? And I'm like, dude, I just want to know if you're a fucking deceptive dick. Why are you bringing this shit up?
We know.
I know. I got a super chat. This is a good one.
Nobody actually read it, though. That's the...
Yeah. Go ahead, Kadan. Go ahead.
Clausen, Lord of Virulence, for $7. Zell, quit truthing Jeff. It's not fair to use his own words against him. Intellectually checkmating a handicapped man is a dirty tactic.
That's actually very...
Clausen, I love you.
Now, see, for the most part, I was gonna stay out of it. Like, as soon as I saw Zell pop on the thing and he started actually asking questions, I knew exactly what was coming. So that's why I stayed the fuck completely out of it. I'm just gonna let Zell thing and everything like that. I was planning on basically just like, all right, he got it out of his system. I think we can move on from here, blah, blah, blah. And then it was just like one disappointing thing after another with Jeff today. Just seeing his reaction on Twitter, seeing him act the way he has been towards these things. And it's disappointing. It is so maddeningly disappointing. And now I have to even take a second guess. Like, I wonder how Nick is going to react to this as well. So I go to Nick's
I can
Twitter.
tell you exactly how Claus is going to react. He's going to clam up again. And then when someone brings it up, he's going to fight against it.
Sorry, one sec, guys. I'm going to be right back.
Okay.
$10 super chat.
Yeah.
From Cassie? Zell, you can't have a battle of the wits with an unarmed person.
He does it with me all the time, Cassie. Tell him to stop bullying me.
That's true.
But to play devil's advocate here, the one thing that I'm aware of is that this shit happened how many months ago?
End of December, beginning of January, somewhere.
Okay.
No, it was like late. It was like late November.
What?
Late
when
November?
everything started happening. When everything started happening with the crowd.
So almost okay, yeah. But when was it Jeff specific? That's what. And when was he starting to get the shit that he was getting?
I would say early December. It was a little bit after the whole crowd thing came out that it was discovered that Jeff was being deceptive and lying about certain things.
Okay. Well, to play Switzerland here, that shit was months ago, and people are still talking about it. And can you imagine, like, people still coming, to use personal shit, or a small mistake or any shit like that, like, and not in a joking manner, where you're constantly just getting attacked and attacked and attacked. It can wear on a person. I think we can all agree that that's something that could wear on a person. Now, the thing that I was aware of with you, Zell, was when he did the apology video, you would actually come out and you were just like, is that the guy that I've been rooting for? Like, that I've been hoping wasn't really being this kind of shitty person, and now he's coming off in this manner. One of the problems that you had was that he had no real humility. He had no real humble, sense. There was no sense. There was no sense of remorse from him, and that was your issue. And
yeah, definitely.
Considering that, like, you as having had been a fan of him, the thing that couldn't seem to get across to Jeff was the fact that he represented you people in some way, shape, or form. He represented his fans. If people are like, I'm a fan of Jeff Holiday.
Well, yeah, and don't tell me,
Yeah,
don't tell me in a million years that he wasn't trying to sell a persona of, hey guys, I care about you and thank you for your viewership or even your money in certain cases with Brockus. People like Brockus help support this fuck. And then yesterday, you get your answer of exactly what he thinks of you. What he thinks of you is, I don't owe you a fucking thing. And that's his excuse for, so I did all the right decisions. No. No one knows anybody anything. But that argument or that fact of life, that little nugget of philosophy does not mean that then what you do is good.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree with you on that. At the same time, I'm going to point out the fact that, no, if he didn't wrong you, then he doesn't owe you shit. And that's true. I'm gonna agree with him on that fact, because it's true. Just because you were a fan of him.
Okay, like for example, if someone fucks over
personally to you,
exactly, but if someone does something,
represented you.
No, if someone that that you care about, right, that maybe even you look up to, but you got a close relationship. Let's say that person, unbeknownst to you, totally unconnected, beats the living shit out of an old lady in a grocery store. And you learn about it after the fact. You want something from him, or it's done. But he didn't do anything to you, Kadant, right? See, this is the situation we're in. He didn't do anything to me, but I want something from him to understand that he is still a good person and I want to watch his stuff. And that's not clicking with him.
Yeah, it'd be like, okay, like I'm regularly on about how, like, I'm a cheerleader for you guys, and if, say, Brockus went out on a fucking bender and decided to go and rape my dog, well, no, not my dog, someone else's dog, doesn't even have to be my dog, and I got to hear about it, and there's proof about it, and then he goes on, I'm not gonna,
we don't talk about that, Antoine.
We're saying this is hypothetical. We're just
we're doing the hypothetical thing. Okay, yeah, he didn't rape his dog last week.
Yes. Shh. But no, and the thing is, I've been promoting Brockus, in a pause. I'm like, no, I'm connected to this dude. This dude's like a good dude. I will stand up for him. He just fucking raped a dog. Okay, Brockus, is there any form of I don't owe you shit? I didn't rape your dog. I don't owe you shit. And it'd be that same kind of aspect. It's just like when Bill Clinton fucking lied in court. You know, when he did that shit. You know, there's people who are like, can you do anything? And he didn't have to. He didn't have to say. He could have just said, I don't owe you shit. Now, mind you, I'm not a fan of Bill Clinton. But he did make a public apology, and he at least tried to make it sound sincere.
Now, in your very
because
grotesque,
he represented us. Yeah.
In your very grotesque analogy,
I know Bill Clinton is grotesque.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In your very grotesque analogy with Brockus, in that situation, Brockus could state a universal fact, and there is a universal fact of you don't owe anybody anything. Now, was that in any way some type of argument that supported his behavior? No. And like again, Kadunt, you and I are friends in real life. Brockus, you and I are friends in real life. We don't owe each other shit. But it's probably, and I'm just throwing this out there, I'm doing a little Steven Crowder, I'm brushing my little beard. It's probably a good idea to maybe sort of kind of do things for each other. And that's just a crazy idea I'm throwing out there. We don't owe each other anything. It's probably a good idea, though, that we pretend we do. It's kind of what makes humanity work.
Hello.
But no, it's as simple as association. In being a fan, you associate with him and his viewpoints and what he says and what he does. Being a fan, you more or less associate yourself with them and their behavior. If you don't fucking cut that off, or they don't give a good enough raising, like when Mel Gibson went on a fucking bender, you know, or when Michael Jackson was accused of touching little kids, like it's around that
Bill
same
Cosby
thing, and
dude,
people will.
We got Brock Cosby
in
the chat or in the stream,
and people will side eye you. People will side eye you if they know and if they're aware. And that's the thing that I don't think he's grasping onto, is the reason why his fans are so upset. Well, but
he understands that, but it's something about his ego that is stopping him short of going there, because like you hear it in his voice, and it's like he makes it seem like people like me are asking for the world from him when we're asking for so little.
Yeah.
Do machine for $5. Do machine for $5. No, you owe me about $3.50.
I owe you $3.50.
Yeah,
do machine for $5.
Why's your grandma got to stand at the stairs and talk loud?
Because
that's what Asian people do.
Oh God, and the neighbor's dog is starting up again. Jesus Christ! We're getting it on two ends now!
I'm outside.
But no, Jeff is being in his apology as well. He comes out like, yeah, an arrogant fucking prick that...
Yeah, he wasn't. He was not humble in any way.
No, he seems like he don't need to apologize to anything, because he seems like he doesn't think he did anything wrong. So he
exactly, like, and that's the problem.
My stance on this was like when I woke up. Well, I actually was already kind of awake. But when Jeff told me that he's never coming on the show again, I was just like, all right, I'm pretty sure he means the cunt stream in general, and that's understandable. He's
not what?
He's never coming on the show again. Cunt stream, I'm assuming.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. He DM'd me this morning about.
You scared him away, Zell.
No,
you and your logic scared him away.
Anyway,
I don't think it was that he scared him away. It was that the whole shit got fucking Lola. It was that the whole shit got brought up again. I think that's what it. Again, devil's advocate here, but I think that's what his reasoning behind it was. Is that it was brought up again. He was hoping to get some discussion about pseudoscience. It got derailed way too fast. I got bored. I told you guys to send out links because fuck it, why not? And pre-stream, I'm going to lay this out there for everybody. Pre-stream, before it had gone live, I had said, hey Jeff, there's a couple people who might want to get on, talk to you about stuff. Would you be okay with that? And he's just like, sure, why not?
And I want to make this clear to the rest of the audience. When it came to me hopping on that cunt stream, okay, and Kadun can confirm this, and even Brockus can confirm this, the whole deal was Schmeckle knew what I was going to be doing. And Schmeckle knows me well enough to know that as soon as he heard what content I wanted to cover, Schmeckle knew there'd be blood. So,
yeah,
I was sitting there in that stream the day before. I had asked for the link, and Schmeckle said he'd give it to me. But the night of the stream, I didn't get the link, and I didn't whine about it. I just kind of sat there, and I was like, okay, maybe they wanted to do their own thing. I just chilled in chat, and then the chat started talking about me getting the link, and then Kadun started talking about me getting the link, and then I got the link from Schmeckle, and the link. I sat on the link for about 10 to 20 minutes, but the link told me, okay, Schmeckle, at the very least, just gave me the okay to turn this into a silly little blood sport, like to have blood. Schmeckle knew. So I sat on it for a bit, and I was like, do I want to turn it into that, though? And then I just kind of was like, fuck it, okay. People aren't going to leave me alone till I do. And, you know, you can call it stupid, you can call it courageous, but I just was like, I'm going to open up with going straight for blood because I don't give a fuck. And I felt a lot of people just wanted to do what I did. And I wanted to do that for a lot of people because we have just wanted to see Jeff sit there and get screamed at for quite some time now because it hasn't happened.
Zell.
He's gotten questioned, but sorry, go ahead.
Zell, did you get what you wanted out of it?
Yeah, it felt great, dude. It was super therapeutic, you know? Did
he answer any of your questions?
He did, you know, most of the answers were unsatisfying, but he kind of did.
$7 super chat from Klaus and Lord of Virulence. Jeff's get all the exposure he needs. He don't need no con stream. He has the YouTube Saints. So, that closet needs closing before we hear tears.
I don't really get that last line. I guess go back in the closet, you faggot?
I'm unsure.
I had a good time on the stream, and as much as it was therapeutic for me, because I came from a place of like, one thing that Kadun told me was like, when you said to take it as a compliment that you were a fan, it might have come off a little too egotistical, and I didn't mean it like that. I meant that you have fans. You like, I care, and I'm yelling at you right now because I liked your content, and that's, you make good content, but you're being a fucking dingus.
No,
you're being a fucking idiot. And then the other thing that perturbed me and annoyed the fuck out of me was, even though I love Unknown Archive and he was a pretty cool chap, but there was like a couple points where Unknown Archive and I think even Jeff himself, they were trying to like convey that my anger was an issue and needed to be stamped out immediately. You're just too angry. And I'm like, when did anger become a like bad and anger and bad? Like, feel the anger. It's good. It's okay. I was enjoying my anger, and yes, I was angry. My God.
We have $5 super chat from Spectre.
And the $7 from Klaus and Lord of Virulence.
Already said that one.
Yeah, we already said that one.
The Jeff gets all the exposure he needs.
Yes, we said that one.
Okay.
Then there's the Spectres. Please, for fuck's sake, change this pause spot. That smile makes me want to lock up the children and call FBI for his inevitable. I can't speak.
Inevitable.
Right, thank you, party van.
Inevitable party van.
And no, that's on purpose because this was when he called Zell kiddo and such, and I found that oh god, I hate when people. I got so angry. And but I wanted
so cringy.
I wanted to say it's when he went, as you wrote in your tweet, a rat-tat-tat-tat when he said that. And you did it in the streets, and it was fucking perfect. Oh fuck.
That's the thing about Jeff is it's weird. It's almost like he has these fans that just will ignore or forget just how like dumb and cringy he has been. And before the crowd thing happened, it's a joke I make now, but it's like before the crowd thing happened, we should have gotten some kind of hint about how cringy this fuck could be when if you go into a stream against Onision and you look like the fucking moron,
yeah,
there's something wrong with you.
Well, I'm gonna. Okay. When it came to the link thing, I'm gonna take and you not getting the link right away. I told Schmeckle not to right away.
No, it's
I wanted
fine.
to get
Yeah.
through at least the first half.
I'm not gonna scream for a link, you know. Like,
Yeah.
you guys know me. I don't do that shit, and I'll sit there and wait, and you do your thing.
Yeah, I know, and that's fine. I just wanted to touch up on that whole thing, but the whole this is just when it comes to the anger with UA, with Unknown Archive talking about, like, you know, your anger and stuff like that. Again, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and maybe it's just one of those, why are you still angry versus why are you angry? It's why are you still angry? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things, why are you still holding on to this so hard?
Yeah, and it's because he never resolved it. He never finished it himself. Like,
didn't
you
get
take
the closure you needed.
Yeah, that can sound like a little gay, but that's okay. Everyone experiences that. Like, you take anything that the only other example I can think of right now is, like, let's say Tonka Saw or Failure or Andy. Let's take those guys that Jeff isn't really a fan of. Up until recently, I can't speak much for Andy now because right now he's in limbo about, like, what are you doing? But aside from that, whenever Andy fucked up, it was, like, pretty much resolved. You could almost guarantee it was resolved the next day, and you felt the closure, and you felt like, okay, you got your ego in check, man. And with Jeff, he does, first of all, his first apology video, which is a Rickroll, which is like, haha, I'm not going to apologize. I don't have to answer to you. And then he does another apology that's an hour long, where he cries about, like, I'm back on smoking again. And you're like, okay, this is fucking gay. And then he goes, that's all you get now. And ever since then, whether it's on Twitter or on streaming, where he whines about people bringing this up still, but he'll be on Monday Matt's stream, he'll be on YouTube Saints, and still be bringing this shit up to this day. And never once has he done what everyone's hoped he would do, which is just have a real remorseful reflection on the whole goddamn thing, so that we can go, okay, your ego isn't checked.
About it.
Yeah, he switched to
very smug.
He switched to apology to feel more like I feel bad about me that I have to apologize, instead of I done diddly dude fucked up.
Okay, so that's what that is.
Yeah.
Again, I don't really know any of this shit, so I don't know.
No, it was.
I've never seen his apology video because I wasn't interested in it.
It was super therapeutic to watch the con stream because you got all the emotions out that many of us had felt.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Is like, I wasn't trying to speak for the people who send death threats. I wasn't trying to speak for the people who bring up his kid. Like, I told him to his internet face that, you know, I despise people that do that. I was speaking for. And this is what is so infuriating about Jeff, is that he clumps in the people that were just good fans, good people who have genuine grievances with them. He has clumped us in with the extreme assholes. And I wanted to speak for the fans or ex-fans who had just genuine grievances. They weren't like, I wasn't the one running around saying Jeff doxed people, but I was the one running around going, I can speak on literally everything that has been admitted to and that there's evidence of. Like, when he asked me, like, what do you think I did? I think I surprised him a little because I didn't go straight to, you doxed people. I went straight to, you were involved in some shady shit. That's all we need. We don't need to go further than that.
Nope.
Show some humility for that. You were involved in something and aware of something that could harm people's lives. How about some humility? That's all. Right there.
Okay, here's a question for you. Again, I'm gonna keep playing this role. How do you know that he wasn't being sincere? Because maybe that's just the way his personality can come off. I don't know. You know,
sure.
so that's why
You
I'm
know,
asking.
Watch the video.
Let me hold on. Let me go ahead and I'm going to let's pretend that I have just like punched you right in the face at a party. Well, I'm sorry, Kadant. I'm sorry. Now, do I forever get to say that I said the words Kadant, and for the rest of our lives, you just have misinterpreted it? Or do you just know? Do you just know? You know I'm insincere. You know I don't care. When it comes to this stuff, you just have to go by instinct. Because for the rest of their lives, they can always have on their resume, yeah, but I said the words.
Yeah.
And we just know that that's not enough.
Yeah. No, this is me going ahead and going for...
No, these are good questions. Like, you're playing a little bit of devil's advocate, and it's good. You know?
Well, because I get curious about these things. You know,
absolutely.
Like, I don't know the story. I don't know the issues. I don't know him as a person. And so far, like, what I've gotten to see from him has been fairly consistent. You know, and I don't know if maybe the apology video was inconsistent to how you guys were used to seeing him, or if the way he was tonight is different from how you were used to, or last night was different from how you were used to seeing him. I just know
he sells a character. He sells a character, and it's a very caring, very sweet character. And that's where I think most of the, like, if this was, let's take JF. If this was JF, I'd be like, well, JF is a cunt.
Yeah.
Like, so I just want to see his content. He's always been a cunt. The thing about Jeff is Jeff has a character that he sold as real that was a very loving, gentle, like, you know, nice, fragile guy who cared about the people that were oppressed and wanted free speech and this and that. And then he gets caught doing something. He gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and suddenly the character's gone. And suddenly, fuck you, I don't owe you anything. And suddenly, yeah, you just got to take my words for it. What, I gave you an hour apology. What else? You know what I mean? It's like, it's very creepy. And anyone with a brain was like, oh, he's being a dick. And his ego is out of this fucking world. And I don't want to consume content from someone like that.
Doom Machine says something in chat. He says, you people act like most people aren't shitty people. You people act like most people aren't shitty people. Yeah, but if you own up to being a shitty person, that helps a lot. If you sit acting like a smug asshole who did nothing wrong, then that's something else.
Who knows? Maybe the character that you guys were used to was nothing more than a character, or as can happen.
Well, now see, now you're not asking questions as playing devil's advocate. Now you're just making statements, and I can just tell you, okay, that's false. Next one.
Okay, that's fair enough.
All right, guys, I'm going through a bad area, so continue on with the show.
Oh, we will.
Goodbye, Antoine, forever.
We're going to do the show that we're planning on doing without you anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be mean to the master, okay? You have a good day, Antoine.
Do you know who I am? I'm always mean to him.
Drive carefully.
I'm not on his payroll.
Oh, go ahead, Brockus. Yeah, be mean.
But no. But the thing is, here's another question that another statement I want to point out is after, you know, getting poked and prodded time and time and time again, like, people can change, people can adjust, and people, you know, like, maybe, do you think this could just be a way that he's putting on his own thick skin, considering everything that he's had to deal with in the aftermath of all of this shit?
I think he's putting up a divide, but he didn't put it up like recently. He's had it up for a long time. And that's been the main reveal is, oh, holy shit, not only is your ego out of this world, but you got like a self-defense system for it too. And we just didn't see it this entire time. Like, if I told, like, this is almost equatable to, do you know who I'm referring to when I say Bio Boy, Kadant?
No.
Eric?
Oh.
Okay. No, hold Hold on, but okay, now for context for the rest of the audience, just really quick, Eric, bad friend of ours, and terrible person. Okay, so Kadant, what if I started telling you off the cuff, well, you've just been misinterpreting him wrong, and what if you would stop me 3 words in and be like, we know, like stop. And
well, no, but
that's kind of what's going on with the Jeff thing is like, I appreciate your nuance to this, but you're like, well, what, you're trying to soften it up a little bit, and it's like, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to soften it up because that's not what's happening.
That's fair enough. Like I said, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you guys who would know. Like you and Brockus.
Yeah, ask questions.
Fans of him.
Ask questions, yeah, but you were straying into statement territory where you were just saying.
Like, is it possible? You know, like that's what I want to know. Like, do you?
Well,
think
to me, like that's
or is this something that's just completely out of like bounds for you guys, and you're wondering why the fuck are you being such a dick?
It's a very, I don't know if I want to use the word unfair, but that's a very easy question because Kadant, of course, it's possible. It's possible that we were wrong about Eric and he's the greatest guy on earth.
Bullshit!
See how angry he got? But it's possible. What if we're in the wrong there? It's possible. We can do this with anything. But is it happening? Is it happening? No.
Okay. Because, like I said, I don't know him. I don't know anything about him other than like he talked about liking the aliens from the Arrival movie. He thought that was pretty. For some reason, that seemed to get his goat and get him going. And
he's a simple man.
And that's all I've known. And then all of a sudden, like I'm hearing,
man.
Pseudosciences. You know,
at the same time as we're talking about this, anyone in the chat, if you've done anything like death threats or bringing up his kid, go fuck yourself, and I want nothing to do with you. You know, and I made that clear to him too.
Yeah, that's fucking disgusting.
And the last thing that I'm gonna ever do is bring up a massacre in the United States and suggest that he cultivates an audience that is capable of that. You piece of shit, Jeff. You piece of fucking... And I know Jeff was trying to correct me yesterday, and I worded it poorly, but I know exactly what his intent was of that tweet. I use his own words directly. Don't associate with certain groups. Okay. So he was literally saying you're nurturing, cultivating, or associating when it comes to your audience with people that are capable of doing the Parkland fucking shooting. You sick fuck. So we're all responsible for our audiences now? You piece of shit. I'm sorry. Like, you don't even have to go to, he was saying that they caused it. You don't have to go there. You just take his words for it. Take Jeff's literal words for it, and he's still a piece of shit for that.
Yeah.
I scrolled through some of the responses to the tweet that you're talking about, and one person had said that the way they had understood it was the fact that the internet people that he's talking about, that he was more or less referring to, or that it's hinted that he's referring to, they understood it as they need to be careful about maybe associating with, you know, some of these extremists that I guess they sometimes had on their shows. Again, I don't know. I've never watched any of this shit.
Mm.
So, could it be that? Like, could that be what the tweet was inferring to?
You're doing it again. You can ask questions as the devil's advocate. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah,
but
I apologize.
You're creeping into the territory.
Yeah.
I know. Hold on. You're creeping into the territory though of like, what if it was purple frogs, guys? It's like, yeah. Okay. It's like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah.
Okay. Well,
but it wasn't.
Let me readjust my question then.
Sure.
Do you think that is what the tweet was inferring to?
Was referring to as far as like them having guests on?
Yeah, certain guests, like, and be careful about who the guests that they have.
Oh, they want to have controversial. They want to have controversial guests, and it could be referring to the audience and the guests, because it's a mixture of both. The audience members sometimes become guests, and it just fluctuates in and out. So what Jeff's referring to, let's say at best, is the guests, right? Let's say at best it's the guests. Okay, so you want to have controversial guests on your show, and now you've nurtured and cultivated a shooting in Florida. Dave Rubin has controversial guests on his show. Jeff has intermingled with and associated with very controversial people where their audiences could be fucking cunts and could be dangerous to some degree. I've noticed that there's certain people that, let's say, Jeff associates with, where the people he associates with, like, let's say, like, there's one or two. I think I'm being nice, but you could probably look into it, where their audience nurtures an environment where, let's say, a pedophile feels comfortable being there. So now, should I tweet about that? How dare you, Jeff? No, Jeff should be able to do whatever the fuck he wants. The more controversial, the better. We need to tackle these topics. And if a fucking sicko is going to be a fucking sicko, we need to bow our heads in respect and not blame certain people's environments because they want controversial shit.
Yeah. Well, okay,
because free speech, motherfuckers.
No, I can totally understand that, because pretty much the first episode we'd had Jeff Holiday on, the chat was blowing up, and even last night the chat kind of blew up, and I noticed, like, you know, people were having kind of a conniption fit over and they call him Doc's Holiday and all that jazz, because of, I guess, the bullshit that he'd been not involved in, but the bullshit that he had known of. And he was part of that Discord server or whatever that, I guess, was doing the thing. And maybe that's, and so maybe that's what it's equivalent to. You know, people are going to blow the fuck up because as soon as they see you have somebody that they don't like on, or that they believe did a shitty thing, or that they know did a shitty thing, or say, like, if we had the French retard fucker, or
JF.
or the creepy one that reminds us of the other creepy one, except this one's actually a pedophile.
Zoom?
No, yeah, like, either way, like,
we had Zoom on, yeah.
Yeah, we had Zoom on. We also had we didn't have the other one. But, like, I've been in streams where I can see the chat just blowing up with this pure amount of hatred.
Mm-hmm.
And they're automatically they're talking shit on the Kun stream and being like, I can't believe you're associating yourself with such a vile, disgusting person. Like, how dare you? Like, look at you, and you're fucking up, and blah 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 blah. Like, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what Jeff was doing when he did that.
Maybe what?
Maybe that's what Jeff was doing when he did that. He saw that there were people on that the other shows or whatever that weren't doing that had some form of background in a negative aspect.
Why?
And so he's just like, why the fuck are you doing this? Like, you're being stupid. And
okay, yeah, you're okay. That's you're like this. It's stretching. It's gone beyond the pale. It's just
it's
I don't
a little
get
bit
it.
of
You're really trying. You're really trying.
I'm
and
trying to understand.
Don't try so hard. Don't try so hard about, like, trying to think of, like, I mean, because that's just really that's going out there and it doesn't make sense. And I'm like, where are you going with this? And
okay.
Yeah, you're losing me. I mean,
no, that's fair.
Now, if you want to land it that way, if you want to be if you want to be like the nicest thing that ever approached Jeff when it comes to him and his stupidity, go for it.
I just don't know.
Why did Duke call you? Why are you calling people pedophiles?
I'm guessing Do is actually.
Is Do a Jeff boy?
Do is saying Zell Bautista is a pedophile.
Yeah.
Or Duke could just be trolling. Who knows?
Wow.
No, this whole situation is right now. The actual questioning I do a little bit amusing. I'm like, why are you asking Zell these questions? He has a clear and obvious bias against Jeff in this.
Oh,
but no,
because Zell's the one who's talking about it.
No, fair enough. I kind of answered my own question like shortly after I'd asked it in my own head, so that's why I said it was kind of funny because like no matter how many questions I have, I'm like.
I wouldn't say bias. I wouldn't say bias. I would say I have stakes in the game, or at least I did. I had chips in the game.
No,
and
yeah,
what I mean by that is before everything went down, I was a fan. You know, so it's not like because a bias against him, that kind of infers like, oh, we don't know why he doesn't like him. No, I have really good reasons.
No, fair enough. No, in reference to the tweet thing though, Jeff apparently was clearing it up today when he was still talking about it. From his angle, what he was trying to specifically say is that he was suggesting the Kumite stop associating with the alt-right. That was his whole point, at least.
Right, and then the gunner ended up not being alt-right.
Yeah.
Because he jumped on something because he got fucking excited, and that said something about him, which was, I can't wait to take these people down.
I can't remember if he had deleted that tweet before or after it was outed that he wasn't even alt-right, which, no matter which way you look at it, is still a stupid dick move on Jeff's part because he's still making some sort of crazy link to people he has clearly had a beef with for several weeks or months.
Well, like, Jeff, don't associate with Muslims, right, Jeff? But Jeff's okay to associate with Muslims, and so would I be. No big, whatever. Have good talks and stuff like that. Reach out, reach past. But you look at Muslim atrocities. They beat the fucking living shit out of alt-right atrocities. If there are many that you can count on, like maybe one hand, I don't know. But like my whole point is like associate with certain groups. Well, Jeff, Muslims, Jeff, Black Pride people, Black Lives Matter people. Like, but you've reached. He's reached across the aisles to have conversations with those kind of controversial figures where their groups have been connected with many disgusting, sick atrocities, but I don't like the alt-right one. And so I'm going to conflate your audience or the people you bring on with, look at what you're nurturing. You're nurturing kids getting killed in a high school. You fuck. It's like there's no way to go about this where it makes sense. Other than I'm petty and pissed.
No, I never really understood that myself. It was something that always confused me. Like, why is it that we can criticize the left and how crazy they're being, but also at the same time try to reach out to them and have a serious discussion? But as soon as it's the alt-right, suddenly, no, we don't want to have that talk. No, we don't want to have a civil, conversation or anything like that. They're bad. They need to go away. And it's like, okay, sure. Most of what we now associate as the alt-right are the religious right people to begin with. Okay, fair enough. These were people that we still wanted to have conversations with about 10 years ago. I don't understand why we stop with the alt-right. I don't understand why that's the group we've decided not to have the conversation with. We're willing to have conversations with Christy Winter, Steve Shives, Tim Blake, and so many other people. We're willing to have conversations.
Yeah, Antifa. That's another, like, I'm sure people he's talked to, or yeah, there you go.
Don't you say that, Zell. You
fuck. What was I gonna? No. Well, I was gonna say
what you said in the chat, you dumb shit. Now you're in the same spot as me. Now you can
I am Kakistani.
You can never escape that meme, you fucking retard.
No, what I was gonna say is it's like Brockus, you brought up a good point about, like, but the alt-right's the only one we can't reach across the aisle apparently for. And so, like, if you're Jeff and you have that question in your head of like, if you have that question in your head of like, well, why is the alt-right just such a presence within, like, let's say the Kumite or let's say Andy Worski's show? Why is it such a presence there? And why is it gaining so much steam? Because you established not to reach across the aisle for it. It's called the Barbara Streisand effect, you fucking moron. This is why I say nigger every other word. Kill the fucking power behind it. Like, stop. If Jeff and all them were like, okay, let's talk with the alt-right, we would have been done with the alt-right in 2 months.
Yeah, we would have been done with the alt-right the second we got Spencer on TV Live. Like, as soon as that was done, everybody would have been like, all right, that was really fucking weird. What's next? Do you want to keep talking to alt-righters? Fuck no. How about we talk about these morons over here in fucking politics or some shit like that? Whatever the case was, we probably would have stopped. But no, yeah. Damn it, this is just one gigantic mess. Oh, and in reference to what Jeff's personality, here's the thing. Between Zell and I, we've consumed days worth of videos and streams that Jeff has been on and made and all that stuff. So we know the guy pretty well. I think I would say I know Jeff's personality better than Zell because I've been watching him longer. Even still, I don't know him that well. I don't know him on a personal level. He and I do not go and hang out on a weekend basis or anything.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't owe you shit.
Aside from that, asshole, I mean, I don't know level. I would say I know Wizard of Cause a little more than I know Jeff Holiday. I would know Poisoning the Well a little more than I would know Jeff Holiday. Just based on the fact that I've been watching all these people for about the same amount of time, and I've actually interacted with them in person when they're not doing their characters. So when I see Nick being an asshole on Twitter, I'm like, that's his personality all around. He's an asshole no matter fucking if he's online, offline, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't really see much of a change in Nick. It's just the way he's been reacting to a lot of the drama is not fucking good. It's just all kinds of bad. So with Jeff, there could be this hidden personality that we don't see because he only ever shows a specific character online or something. I don't know that much about him. So I wouldn't even be able to answer that question. I don't know if there is a possibility that he is continuing to play up a character, but is actually still very remorseful for the thing that he said. Because, like, the more I look at that apology video, critically, because it's still out there, the more I look at it from an objective point of view, the more I start to realize, and this is actually something I came to the realization of a while ago, it wasn't as sincere as I had originally thought it was. I think I just accepted it because I wanted to. And it kind of sucks too, because like this whole time I've been rooting for Jeff, like openly and also kind of secretly, like, go Jeff, be the guy I know you can be. And then I just keep seeing him do one fuck up after another.
Whoa, careful now.
So
Careful, you're about to draw a line and make a step that you can never return from, which I have witnessed. I've already done it myself. It's a pretty fun step, but I mean, if you want to take it too,
no, I think I already.
There's no going back.
I already mentally made that step when I saw the back and forth between Jeff and Alenska early this morning, and I was just massively disappointed in Jeff. Like, so disappointed that as soon as I read the last couple of tweets that they had given back to each other, I just kind of like tossed my phone, like, well, I guess I now know where I stand on this. Shit. I didn't think it would ever come to this, but it's not so much that I'm gonna say fuck Jeff Holiday or anything. It's just, nah, dude, it's cool. You're just not the guy I thought you were, I guess.
$7 more from Clausen, Lord of Virulence. Evidence of Jeff Holiday cast as Two-Face on latest Batman series grow by the minute.
Brockus, do you want to I'm still like a little unclear about like the whole Alenska thing. What happened there?
So you know who Alenska is, right?
No, I've heard the name, but even I'm I'm cadunt on this one.
Okay, fair enough. So Alenska is a fan of the same circle of people. The divide happened. That she's been in many streams and so on and so forth. Some time ago, she actually got into a relationship with Cognitive Thought, and they've been relatively open about it, and they even do really cringy fucking threads where they basically treat each other like master and slave, and it's fucking weird. I sometimes am just like, I want you guys to stop, whatever. But yeah, Alenska and Cog are apparently engaged. And yesterday, when Jeff and Cog were going at it with each other again in the afternoon just before Love Your Monday, Jeff had made a tweet at Cog, and he had brought Alenska into the fray. Now, he didn't do it in the same fashion that we've seen other assholes do it with M's and shit like that, saying like, fuck you, Docs Holiday, you piece of shit. I hope you fucking die, and I hope bad things happens to your wife, all that shit. It wasn't like that, but he did mention Alenska, not by name, but the fact that he says that Cog is scamming his girl who's an ocean away, because Alenska is over. Well, Alenska saw that, got really pissed off, quote tweeted and said, keep my relationship with my fiance out of your fucking mouth, asshole. And Jeff responded by basically pointing blame at Cog and not realizing what he had just done. Alenska then pointed out to him, you just did the thing that you have been bitching at other people doing for fucking months now. Where's my apology? Jeff responded with a fake apology. She pointed out that was a bullshit apology, and then he turned around and made a sincere, you can't see it, but I'm air quotes, a sincere apology, where he again continues to point blame at Cog. In other words, what I was watching unfold on Twitter was, it's not my fault I just did a shitty thing. It's your fucking fiance's fault. Because he's a piece of shit and I don't like him. My actions are not mine. They're actually his. He forced my hand. However you want to paint that picture, Jeff, that's not what happened. You did a fucking shitty thing and you won't own up to it. That's what happened this morning on Twitter. And I will fucking go and screenshot the shit out of it just to fucking make points. And I'm telling you right now, I will be correct 100% on what I was observing and what you were basically doing.
No. If I were you, screenshot it. Screenshot it now before he pulls a Cody and deletes it.
That's, yeah, fair enough.
Once it's on the internet, it's on there forever. But
I'll be Cog's little buddy and archive this.
Jeff, if you're making, and I'm not saying Brockus hates Jeff now. That's not the case at all.
No, I don't hate Jeff. I'm just
No. It's not the case at all. I do not want to get your opinion on this wrong. But I will say, Jeff, if you're pissing off Brockus to this degree, I know Brockus. Brockus and I have almost torn each other's heads off having debates about the shit you pulled. He's a diehard fan. If you got him pissed, maybe you're fucking up.
Just maybe.
Well, but the thing is, it's Brockus. It's not too difficult to piss Brockus off. Plus, Brockus got to, for like first-hand experience, deal with some of this stuff from last night, and he got to have some really good points made, and he got to be there, and he got to see Jeff's "I don't owe you anything." So all of that is fresh in Brockus's mind. So Brockus be like seeing this shit after having just experienced like what happened last night, it'd be easy. I can guarantee you there will still be people who will defend him. It's what happens no matter what. There are always going to be those fans who will hold out that hope that maybe, just maybe, you know, this person will fix their shit. And it's possible. Of course, anything is possible, but, like, it's one of those things that Brockus isn't pissed, he's really disappointed, you know? And I can understand that. I would be really disappointed if Zell, you decided to go and jerk off in the middle of San Diego. Like, at least, you know, choose Hollywood where there's some pretty people somewhere. Like, come on.
First he fucks a dog and now he jerks off in public.
No. Brockus fucks the dog. Zell jerks off down.
Oh, that makes more sense. That's how I would put it. Yeah.
There's a lot of fucked up things happening in this analogy.
No, I'd fuck a wolf.
Yeah, and shoot it.
The wolf fucker.
There was a lot of context to that, by the way, and I do not appreciate that the context is never brought up whenever someone says I'd fuck a wolf. There's good reasons. Okay, it was a different time, and it was a story, and it was about my survival, and I would have fucked a wolf if it meant me living.
Now they're gonna find out in Danish news when there was a drive-by shooting of a wolf that it was Zell, and it has a gaping vagina wound because you fucked it first, and then you went out and shot it.
You fucked it to death. But,
wow, that got bad.
Argyle
You're gonna fuck him out to death!
Argyle Gargoyle asks, what hasn't Medicare taken responsibility for?
Technical suggestion for the future, you guys should have a list on who is actually on the stream. It's not just the proper villains. We have Brockus, we have Zell, we have Lo-Fi, that's the other woman, and I'm Antoine.
Oh.
Hello, I'm Lo-Fi.
Okay. Well, when it comes to Medicare, I don't care because his personality's been consistent.
Yeah.
It's been up to snuff, and he may have caused things to happen. He may have created some shitstorms at times, but he doesn't care, and he plays by his rules. And I just love watching the tire fire.
Trippy Poop says in the chat, Zell Batista tastes like wolf pussy.
You can't prove that. You can't prove that. No, we can't. He's not in the chat anymore. Delete it.
Oh my god, Trippy Poop and fucking that was one of my favorite Nick Swartzen fucking skits or jokes he ever fucking did because of how goddamn wait, did he just say fucking wolf pussy? I don't blew my fucking mind.
Well, here's for Hobbles, considering your suggestion, usually it's in a Hangouts, but today it is on Discord, and the OBS is not set up to show the Discord people in this current setup.
No, it's literally just the Hangout version. Just Discord just runs much better in OBS.
Yeah, if you guys check out in the chat, I give you guys the link. So just look for it in the chat. You're fine.
There it is.
Dew says, if you care about Jeff, you have to care about Medicare. Apply your principles consistently. And that's the thing.
He did.
He did.
Yep.
He laid the claim that Medicare has been consistent, which is why Medicare has there's been no question from Zell as to Medicare's personality or state of character, whereas with Jeff there has been an inconsistency with that, because Jeff had laid out early on that he was like, he actually gave a damn and he cared, and now he's in this whole mindset of, well, I don't owe you shit, well, I don't have to answer to you, I don't have to say.
That's a pretty good summarization of it, but I would say you know, when you get to know Medicare's content, you get a real good sense very quickly of what he's about to promise you, and what he's about to promise that he will abide by, which is not much. He just loves to watch tire fires, and he'll create them if he has to. And you go, okay, well, I'm in, or I hate him. You can decide, either one. With Jeff,
I literally watched him fabricate and create fake fucking drama on Kumite just because he wanted to see people fight.
Yeah, but with Jeff, what's up?
I wanted to let you know your Dopal 12-year-old Lego boy is in chat.
Oh, we'll get I want Darnell in here. We'll get him in here someday. But no, I was saying see, that's not important enough, Kadant. Let me fucking finish. Like with Jeff with Jeff though, he sold me a personality, which Medicare really doesn't do. I guess you could argue he does, but Medicare just sort of states, here's what you're in for. whereas Jeff did sell a personality, and then we saw the cracks in that personality, and then we saw that the personality that he really has is anti that personality, and that's just creepy as fuck. That can anger a lot of people. And when he pulled certain stunts that made you question the consistency of his morals, you wanted to see some kind of reestablishment with the consistency. You wanted to see it fixed and then move on. And instead, he did the opposite. And then he shat over all the fans that demanded that. And since then, he's been putting up the middle finger. And so with Jeff, that's why it's such a beautiful train wreck, but it also gets a lot of people who are fans really upset. With Medicare, I mean, I know what I'm in for.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything that I think breaks what he promised me he'd abide by.
No, he's very consistent.
What are Hobbles and Argyle discussing right now?
I don't what?
Because I just saw Hobbles reply to Argyle.
Know next to nothing about Medicare. He could be involved in politics for all we know. Argyle, that isn't the point. The point is he was just throwing stones. How is that related to what?
For no purpose, in a cowardly way. What are you guys talking about?
Now I'm interested.
Right? I'm so intrigued.
It looks like the conversation's been going on for a few minutes now.
We're gonna end very soon because I need to sleep.
Mm-hmm. So no double.
Now, Danielle can get in for like 2 seconds before I end the stream. Like I did yesterday when I streamed, when I invited him in and then left the chat. So...
Oh, this is okay. So Hobbles was basically pointing out to Argyle that there was this thing with Medicare when Medicare was giving Sargon of Akkad shit for not stepping up.
Yeah, Medicare and Sargon had an argument a while back over the liberalists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, remember that.
Well, it wasn't just that. I guess Medicare and Sargon actually go all the way back to Gamergate.
Yeah.
Basically, Sargon was one of the bigger names, but late in game compared to Medicare. Medicare was there from
Internet
like the very
aristocrat.
beginning. Yeah, and he walked away. He didn't give a shit about it anymore. It was boring to him, and he just walked away from the fucking channel. And when he came back as Mr. Medicare, Sargon was super happy, along with a lot of his fans. And Medicare's attitude towards everything was, I don't fucking care. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to talk about people shoving bicycle pumps up their ass. And it kind of pissed Sargon off, which they've had like mild beef. Wasn't even really mild beef. It was just, you know, the ingredients were there. All it took was the liberalist thing, and fucking now an old school hatred was rekindled.
Yeah. And Argyle, no need to apologize. I don't know about any of this shit, so I'm learning.
Well, yeah. When it came to Medicare and the liberalist thing, that's another great example of again, totally can hate the guy. That's great. That's fine. But super consistent there, because those are the kind of movements that are exactly what Medicare likes to make fun of. For example, he hates being called a gamergator. He's not in. He will just call out bullshit, but he thinks that building alliances over the internet or building friendships over the internet, we know this from Medicare, that he thinks that always spells disaster and it's a moronic thing to do. He hasn't been totally wrong so far.
Medicare has no obligation to do anything. That is fine. I just thought it was shitty for him to crap all over what Sargon was trying to do.
Yeah, that's exactly how you can feel. And then I would just respond with, and did that break any consistency in Medicare?
Yeah, that is
you can still be mad though.
Yeah, so your feelings aside, Medicare is consistent. If you consider him a dick, he's been a dick. Then he's always been a dick. He's still being a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that it's not like he suddenly turned sweethearty towards Sargon for a couple of years and then became a dick. No, He shits on all the ideas he don't like. That's how he's consistent.
And in case anybody might be wondering, just so I don't sideswipe anyone at a later time, I'm for the most part, I'm pretty much done with the Jeff drama. I don't really want to talk about it anymore. I just want to move past it. I want to just watch the videos I want to watch. I don't fucking care anymore. I'm massively disappointed.
Who?
There's nothing I could do about it. Exactly. And I'm just, fuck it. I'm pretty much done. The only way I'm gonna talk about it again is if I'm specifically asked an interesting enough question, I guess.
Okay, that's fine. You can be done with it. That doesn't if there's a tire fire there to be viewed, I'll go to it.
Oh no, fair enough.
But aside from that, after last night, I mean, don't get me wrong. If this would never have it, if there's something interesting there.
So
yeah, no, if there's something interesting, if something does come up that's new or whatever, probably talk about it. But if it's just Jeff spurging on fucking Twitter, I'm gonna ignore it. I'm not gonna talk. I don't give a shit.
Hobble says, I never said Medicare wasn't consistent. He absolutely has been. And then Clausen says Medicare is a classic troll. If he finds something funny, he will say so. And Argyle, actually, the point I was kind of making is we don't know that Medicare isn't doing, quote-unquote, his share. Nobody knows what he gets up to offline.
Oh, we can speculate all we want about that.
And then Argyle says, I've always liked to think he's secretly the governor of Minnesota.
We got a $3 Streamlabs donation from Clausen. Never end the stream. Never. I'm sorry I have to disappoint you very soon. And Clausen, I guess Lo-Fi had enough. Enough what?
Hi, Mr. LM002.
Hi, Mr. You sweetheart. My name's Antoine. Welcome to the stream. I am the
every time I hear or see Mr. LM002, I get angry because I'm like, there's the guy who just could pull out $1,000 from his pocket and slap it on someone's stream.
Oh,
I
want that kind of money.
I would love that kind of money. And that just brings me back to one of my favorite moments on Gulf City Streaming when they were doing the Fright Power Hour with Poisoning the Well, and they had an actual Streamlabs fight back and forth between two fans of AP and Ghastly, where they were upping their Streamlabs donations from 100 to 200 all the way up to 500, but somewhere in the middle, when they got to about 350, they said 350, cheap asses, stuff like that. So Faint's immediate response is, subscribe to us, rich person. And I couldn't blame him because I'm like, I want that too. I would love for that. I would love for two fans just in the Streamlabs going back and forth. And then here comes a third guy with a $350 fucking donation, like cheap asses. And it's just like, that would be fucking amazing. I would love for that to happen.
Oh my god.
Oh, speaking of which, they are now live, Poisoning the Well.
Speaking of which, I am ending the stream.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Because I need to get up in 3 hours.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up. Shut up, Kadot. So thank you so much for showing up, guys. Oh, God. No, I can do an Antoine. I can do my Antoine for an outro.
Okay.
Do it.
Hello, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm just sitting here eating my burgers and checking the books, and I'm thinking maybe I'll deal on my pee-pee after this stream. Maybe I don't, but I love all the thousands of bucks you gave me. I'm gonna spend it on coke. Have a good night, y'all cunts.
Are you Is Antoine Australian?
No,
he's Australian now.
No, that's Antoine. That's perfect.
No, that's